One more minute. Hello. All right. I think maybe we'll start like maybe in 2 minutes. We'll give some other people a chance to get in. And I also wanted to let you know that you are being recorded. We are recording this presentation so that we can have it for future, so that people who could not attend will be able to hear it. We're also going to have this on our webpage, our counseling webpage. It's going to be under the class of 2024, as well as our counseling presentation. So it's going to be in 2 places. And you'll also get it tomorrow in your email. All right, well, I'm going to turn my camera off and we are going to start. All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Tammy Jones, and I'm one of the counselors here at Chattahoochee High School. Welcome to the Junior Information Presentation for the class of 2024. We are going to get started. All right, during this presentation, people can use the chat feature, so type in your questions about the current slides. Counselors are monitoring that feature and can answer you in real time. General questions that may help other families will be posted and viewed by attendees. Say hello to the counselors. Or say hello, counselors.
Hi. Hello.
Great, great. So they're there to answer your questions in the chat. We will continue the Q&A at the end of the presentation to allow participants to verbally ask their questions. This presentation will be posted on our counseling webpage under the class of 2024 and the counseling presentation section by the end of this week. Our agenda is going to be staying connected, the basics, dual enrollment, college visits, scholarships, Naviance, and the junior advisement meetings. Here is our wonderful principal, Dr. Michael Todd, and our awesome assistant principals who are assigned to students based on their last names. We have Mr. Jonathan Adele, who is A through E, Mr. Garrett Abelcott, which is F through L. We have Dr. Ingrid Parham, which is M through R. We have Miss Gwendolyn Harris, which is S through Z. And then we have William Killis, who is our assistant administrator. And here is our awesome counseling group. We have Miss Elizabeth Chilson, last names A through DAQ. We have Curtissa Johnson, who is also our head counselor, last names DAR through HEL. We have Laurel Fitzsimmons, last names HEM through MAR. Deborah Blunt, last names MAS through SAH. And then we have Tammy Jones, that's me, last names SAI through Z. Students can make appointments with their counselor by going to the Chattahoochee Counseling webpage. What you'll see is what you're seeing now is a screenshot from the main counseling webpage. If your student needs to make an appointment with their counselor or communicate with someone else in our office, they can click on the Meet Your Counseling Staff on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, they can click on a link to make an appointment or send an email. Students can only make an appointment using this method. Parents and guardians, if you want to set up an appointment with your student's counselor, please send the staff an email and they will coordinate setting up a meeting with you. So whether it's a counselor or someone else in our office, their email address is right there that you can set up an appointment. It is very important that families stay connected and engage with Chattahoochee, as communication is a shared responsibility between the schools and families. Here is how you can stay connected at the Hooch. We have our Counseling Main webpage, which is www.chatcougar.com. Tons of good information posted there. All juniors should also be a part of our junior class of 2024 teens. If you have not been getting the updates for juniors, please email me at jonestr@fultonschools.org to add you to the junior class of 2024. We have the Chattahoochee Facebook page as well as a counseling Facebook page. So we encourage you to like and follow both of those. The same thing with Twitter. We have the general Hooch happenings as well as the Hooch counselors accounts. And we have our Hooch Instagram counseling account. Dr. Todd puts out a bi-weekly newsletter called the Hooch Happenings S'mores newsletter. That's how you can stay connected with parents. And we also have Naviance. All students have a Naviance account that allows students to search for colleges and to manage tasks associated with the college admissions process. It's a great communication tool, and when students log in, they see announcements tailored to their specific grade level. Hopefully by now, everyone is connected to the Infinite Campus portal and checking this a few times a week, a month. This is one of the most important sources of communicate information to be shared to make sure that your student is staying on track with all of their classes. You can set up alerts to notify you about grades, attendance, and more. And one thing to note is we are no longer sending home paper copies of progress reports. So all progress reports and grading periods you will be able to see in Infinite Campus. Emails do not go out to parents at emails do go out to parents at each of these grading periods, reminding families that they are able to see these grades. If your Infinite Campus portal is not set up, please do so as soon as possible. The link at the bottom takes you to directions on how to set up everything. And we encourage students to use their Infinite Campus portal as well. They can set up alerts and they can stay on top of all grades and any missing assignments. The basics. All right, so for those of you who have attended parent nights in the past or who have older students, you're probably very familiar with this slide. But for new students and families, here are the high school graduation requirements. In order to graduate, students need 23 credits. They need 4 credits/years of English, math, and science, 3 credits of social studies, which are split into half credits or 1 semester classes of American government, typically taken in 9th grade, a year of both world and US history, and a semester of economics typically taken in 12th grade. While we have students who take AP Human Geography or AP Psych, neither one of them counts towards that specific category for graduation, even though they are academic classes. They are counted as academic electives. In order to graduate, students also need to take a half a credit of health and a half a credit of personal fitness, and 3 credits of a world language, fine arts, or career tech class, and 4 credits of an elective. A common misconception is that world language is a specific high school graduation requirement. It is not. Students can graduate from high school with 3 total credits of any combination of a world language, career tech, or fine arts class. So for example, if a student, a student can take a 3-year pathway of engineering and graduate in that category, or 3 years of orchestra, or a mix and match of classes in different pathways, like 1 year of graphics, 1 year of auto, 1 year of marketing. So they can do a different variety of things to meet that particular, those particular electives in your grad status report. However, we do encourage students to take 2 years of the same world language, since most 4-year colleges require 2 years of the same world language for admissions. Now, if a student family knows the student is going to start college at a 2-year or technical school, or if the student is going into the military or workforce, then the family can choose for the student not to take a world language. Students who have completed 1 season of any level, 9th grade, JV or varsity, or a GHSA sport, or any season of marching band are all eligible for the personal fitness waiver. Now, the waiver is not automatically awarded. The student must submit the electronic link that's here on the slide. And once they complete that information in the link, the data clerk gets those requests and sends them either to our athletic director for the GHSA sports, or Mr. Garofalo for the marching band, for them to confirm the student has completed a season. And then she will put that notation on a student's transcript as personal fitness waive. This does not earn a credit or a grade, it just satisfies the requirement. So since students still must earn 23 total credits, that 0.5 credit that would have been earned just turns into an elective credit to be earned. The waiver needs to be submitted by the end of your junior year. So make sure you get those in if you are in the marching band or in sports. This is our graduation status report. Many families call this a 4-year plan. And you can find a blank copy on our counseling webpage, or you can click the link on this slide to download this form. You can download your student's unofficial transcript from Infinite Campus and fill out the graduation status report with their completed classes and earn credits to see what classes they have left to complete for graduation. Each box on the grad status report represents 1 semester of a course. Your student counselor will go over this with you in the junior advisement meeting, and you and your student should come to the meeting with your senior classes in mind. And we're going to talk about the meetings towards the end of this presentation. We get many emails from students wanting to know where they stand with their GPA, as well as the Hope and Zell Miller GPA. This chart shows you a comparison between the calculations of Fulton County's cumulative numeric average, what you see on your transcript, and the calculation of the Hope Zell Miller GPA. A few details about these comparisons. Fulton County numeric averages include every single high school class that you've taken, even from middle school, and including all electives and non-academic classes. The HOPE only includes core classes, which are your English, your math, science, social studies, and world language, and any academic electives, such as debate, yearbook, math support, and AP computer science, to name a few. Our Fulton County numeric average is weighted, which means that the grade you see on your transcript already includes the 7 additional earned points for any honors, AP, or dual enrollment classes. Your HOPE GPA is reweighted, which means 7 points are removed before converting to the 4.0 scale. That means that they will take away the 7 points for the honors, AP, and college classes, but add an additional 0.5 points, 0.5 points, 0.5, oh gosh, a half a 0.5 to any AP and college classes. So for example, your student made an 85 in an AP class. The Georgia Student Finance Commission will take the 7 points off the grade, which will be an 80, and that 80 turns into B. So if you look at the chart, the B is an 80 is considered a B. And the final grade GPA, the final grade for the HOPE GPA for that class will be a 3.5. That's what I was trying to say. You get a 0.5 for every college and AP class. So that turned in 3.5 instead of a 3. We have a GPA cheat sheet that is provided on this slide that students can use. We also have it on our counseling webpage under student resources. Chattahoochee counselors cannot give you an official HOPE Zell-Miller GPA calculation. You have to go on the Georgia Futures to get that. Preparing for the senior year. While counselors have multiple checkpoints to evaluate students' progress towards graduation, the best way is to ensure that students stay on track for graduation with the counselors, students, and parents and guardians monitoring the students' progress. From either the student or parent portal or from Infinite Campus. Once again, you can download the student's transcript, look under the Documents tab, and use the blank grad status report link here to check their progress towards graduation. Each box on the chart represents a 0.5 credit or one semester of a class. For students who were in the accelerated science program in 9th grade or who have done or are doing dual enrollment, or possibly students who transferred from a different district, state, or country, you may see 1 credit on your student's transcript. That means they earn or will earn a year-long credit for a class. So you can check off 2 boxes for the correlating classes. Check to see which class your student has left to graduate, like what they need to complete for graduation, and how much room they have for electives or classes they just want to take. The scheduling process will start early next semester with current teachers entering course recommendations. While students may be recommended for possibly all honors and AP classes, parents and students need to look at commitments in school and outside of school while making a schedule. Balance is the key here. We don't want to be overloaded with classes. Online and dual enrollment contracts will be available in the spring. So those are all the things that you can do to prepare for your senior year. There are many post-secondary options to consider after high school other than college. You know, I know a lot of students are going to do either 2-year, 4-year, but there are other options. So some students may want to consider a gap year because they're still figuring out what their options are or have no idea what they want to do after high school. Or they may want to travel, volunteer. Students may choose to work first to pay for college. There are some great apprenticeship programs where students can get on-the-job training while getting paid. And then, of course, there are a ton of military options and branches if you're interested in that. The ASVAB, Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Tests, will be coming up in November 4th. You can sign up for that by clicking class links, Naviance, colleges, and click college visits. You can also get really good information from this flyer by clicking the link, Know Your Options After High School above. Have some wonderful links on there, so highly recommend you look at those. If you are an athlete and want to play a sport in college, there are certain processes you must go through. First, you have to register through the NCAA clearinghouse. Ms. Hagan in the main office specifically handles sending transcripts to NCAA, not for college admissions, just to clear you for the academic requirements to play sports at certain levels in college. So you need to contact her after registering on the portal to request your transcript be sent. This slide also shows the code to enter for SAT and ACT scores to be sent to NCAA. Please note that Chattahoochee counselors do not advise or make recommendations on NCAA course requirements. All colleges are required by law to provide certain support for students with disabilities. Students must apply for accommodations once they have been accepted to his or her college choice. High school accommodation plans do not transfer to college. Students must initiate the process. No longer can parents and school personnel make accommodations in place for students. Students must contact the college's Disability Service Office, DSO typically is what they're called, to indicate that they would like accommodations. Paperwork that universities and colleges will need to approve for accommodations are your most recent IEP 504, most recent eligibility for special education or 504, and your most recent psychological report. And displayed are the most common available accommodations. As you can see, the first four are extended time on exams, use of laptops for tests and exams, use of calculators for test and exam, permission to make auto recordings in class. So you can look at the list, but those are the common available accommodations. And then accommodations that may be difficult to get are the extended time on papers and projects, course waivers and substitutions, in alternate exam formats, such as oral rather than written. So those might be difficult, but you might want to definitely check with the office to see what accommodations your student can get. All right, SAT and ACT. We recommend students take their first SAT or ACT by the spring of their junior year, earlier in second semester if they plan to use test scores to apply for dual enrollment for 12th grade. Some students may test in first semester of junior year if they're specifically ahead in English or math. But if you haven't tested yet, do not feel like you are behind. You are right on track. The PSAT results can also give you an excellent picture of how you might expect to perform on the SAT. We also have test prep information on our counseling webpage. Most colleges do not prefer one test over the other. We always get that question, should I take the SAT or the ACT? But ultimately, families are responsible for checking that information with the colleges. Not sure which test is better fit for you? Peach State Tutoring. You go down Taylor Road and make that left. They offer a free combined SAT, ACT diagnostic test. And the results you receive will show you which test your student would likely score better on. And we have the link posted there for you for your information. Keep in mind that each time your student takes either test, they get up to 4 free score reports sent to colleges. Your students can enter the college codes when they register or up to a few days after the test. Take advantage of these free services because if you wait, you will have to pay $12 per college for SAT, and now ACT is $16. Also remember, Chattahoochee doesn't have access to test scores and can't send them. That's a common thing. Students think that we have access to them. We do not. It is the student's responsibility to send them directly through the testing agency. Some students are eligible for registration fee waivers for the SAT or an ACT. They cover the cost of the regular registration, not the late registration. If you meet the qualifications, please see Miss Bonaventura. We call her Miss B in the counseling office, and she will be able to help you. Dual enrollment. All right, students can earn dual enrollment credit for both high school and college credit at the same time. For me personally, it's been a big saving for my family. I have benefited from APs from my daughter as well as from my son, the dual enrollment. It's been great for me. In order to be eligible for dual enrollment, students must attend a public or private high school in Georgia. Ninth graders are not eligible to participate. Dual enrollment is offered to 10th and 12th graders. However, some institutes only accept 11th and 12th graders. Per the Georgia Student Finance Commission, 10th graders can only take career tech courses unless they have met the minimum test scores required for 10th graders to take academic classes. So right now, 10th graders can only take career tech classes unless they meet the score requirements. There's been some funding changes. Students cannot take more than 30 credit hours with dual enrollment. Students cannot be funded for the same course twice. Students who withdraw from 2 college classes at any point are not permitted to continue in the dual enrollment program. And students can pay to take a course, but it will be, students can pay to take a course, but it's going to be outside of their school day. That will be placed on their, it will be placed on a high school transcript regardless of the grade they earn. And many colleges will not allow for a self-pay course if the student has funding available for them through the state. Only academic and career tech classes will be funded. And then the end of course test, the ELC, is required for American literature, English 2130. So be prepared for that if you have to take that. And the college grade is 80%, and then the ELC is 20%. College visits. When students are researching colleges, the best source of information would be the college's website. And it's either going to say first year freshman page, or it will say freshman profile, or information about freshman profile. If you can't find them easily on the website, I would email the admissions office and ask for them. The students should always apply to 3 types of schools. A reach school, which is a school that they may or may not get into based on their academic profile. It is perfectly fine to apply, but you want to consider whether it's the best time, best to allocate resources and time. I would definitely apply to reach school. You maybe 1 or 2 that you think that you may have a good chance of getting into. A match school, one that you know you can get into based on your GPA and test scores, and then a safety school that you're absolutely positive that you can get into based on your GPA and test scores. Safety schools can also be 2-year programs. You go for 2 years and then you go and transfer to another college that you really want to go to, that you might not, maybe that reach school that you couldn't get into. 2 in each category is a great start. Plan on applying to at least one safety school, and keep in mind that many colleges use a holistic approach when they're considering admissions, such as extracurricular activities, volunteer experience, leadership roles, work experience, essays, and art portfolios. Okay, college. For college visits that come to Chattahoochee High School, students can register for a maximum of 7 on-campus college visits per school year. So those are college visits that come to Chattahoochee. Your student has opportunity to register for those colleges. Make sure that you email if you're going to that, students, make sure that you email your teacher about missing class and come prepared to ask questions. You can register for a college visit by following the graphic that's on your right-hand side there. And many college visits are now in person. Some are virtually, but now I'm seeing them, they're more in person now. Students can get 6 pre-approved absences for college visits or other purposes. These are students that are going on a college visit to the campus. So if you want to be excused for the day, you can pick up a pre-approved form from the attendance office, get your teacher to sign it, get your teachers to sign it, and bring it back to the attendance office, and they will excuse you for the day if it's approved. Please pick up the form at least 3 days prior. Don't wait till like the day before. You want to pick it up as soon as you can, 3 days at least. We also have the National Association of College Admissions, NACAD Fair, coming up, which is going to be on November 6th. Please use the link to register. It's a great college fair. Scholarships. All right. There is a lot of money out there, and students just have to take the time to pursue them and do what is required to get the scholarship money. So the first one, there's institutional scholarships, and the financial aid webpage for each college is the best source for information. Some departments within each college may have their own scholarships as well. When you do start applying to colleges, please be sure to check any scholarship priority deadlines. You don't want to miss out on any scholarship qualifications because you missed a deadline. Local scholarships are typically specific to professional or religious organizations that the student or their parents may be a member of, such as the American Legion, employer-sponsored scholarships, UPS, Chick-fil-A, Boys and Girls Scouts, church groups. All of those can be local scholarships. And then our national scholarships, we have a large list of students. We have a large list, and there's a lot of students that apply to that, and I can tell you where those are going to be. And then we have the Academic Common Market, Southern Region, which enables students to pursue out-of-state college degrees and get in-state tuition rates through the agreements among the states and colleges and university. The link for that is right there on the screen, and it's there for your review. That's also something you can look at as well. You can also find scholarships on Naviance, Twitter, Facebook, and the Chattahoochee Counseling website. And later on, I'm going to tell you how you can find scholarships later in the program. And then here's the Hope scholarships, Hope and Zell Miller scholarships. So in order to be eligible for the Hope, you need to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA, not a 2.99, but a 3.0 or higher exactly. And how the Hope works, it's based on your core classes, English, math, science, social studies, and world language. And you must also have 4 rigorous classes. A rigorous class can be Algebra 2, a second year or higher in world language. It does not necessarily have to be advanced classes. And I have provided a list for you on this slide, and you can see all of the rigorous classes on that list. With the Hope, they will pay a portion of your standard tuition to a Georgia public school. Private school, they're just going to give you a set amount per semester or quarter. And once you get the Hope Scholarship, you must maintain a 3.0 GPA in college, and they will check your GPA every 30, 60, and 90 attempted semester hours, or 45, 90, and 135 attempted quarter hours to keep the scholarship money. So you have to have a 3.0. And then for the Zell Miller Scholarship, same as the Hope, Zell is looking at English, math, science, social studies, and world language. You must also have 4 rigorous classes, and you must have a 3.7 GPA, in addition to a SAT score of 1200 or an ACT score of 26. And if you get that, they will pay full tuition to a Georgia public school. And for the private schools, they're going to give you maybe a little bit more set amount of money for that, for them, for semesters or quarter hours. For the Zell, you must maintain a 3.3 GPA in college, and they will also check your GPA every 30, 60, and 90 attempted semester hours, or 45, 90, and 135 attempted quarter hours to keep the money. And there's all types of great information on this slide. We have the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. This must be submitted every year you wish to be considered for aid, or the Georgia Student Finance application. If you did complete that, you only have to do it once, and it's good for 10 years. So these are some great links here for you to look at. And then more about the Hope. We also have the Hope Grant. There's no graduation requirements. You must be enrolled in a certified diploma, certificate, diploma, or technical school. And they will pay a portion of your standard tuition up to 15 hours. That's like a good semester, maybe a semester and a half. And you have to maintain a 2-point GPA or higher to continue to get the money in the program. You're only eligible to regain the Hope once. Then we have the Zell Miller Grant. No graduation requirement. Must be enrolled in a certified diploma or technical college. So the first term is awarded retroactively after earning a 3.5 or higher. And that means they will pay for the full standard tuition up to 15 hours. And your students are eligible to regain the Zell Miller Grant if a minimum of 3.5 GPA is earned at the end of the next term. And then our last one is the Hope Career Grant. And this is for students enrolled in a specific high demanding certificate diploma program at any participating universities or technical schools. The Hope Grant and Zell Miller eligibility applies, and awards are fixed per term based on the program and the number of hours enrolled. And here, this whole brochure under the Hope program, you can click that link and it'll give you everything that's on this page. And then we will have a financial aid night on Wednesday. That's our next virtual night. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, November 2nd at 5:30 on Teams. And if you want to look ahead of time, this is a great checklist. You can look at all that information, and if you have questions once you come to the meeting, you can get them answered. All right, Georgia Futures is also a really great resource for students and families. They have details on the Hope and the Zell Miller scholarships and grants. They have several links on the rigor, anything you want to know about Hope and Zell, FAFSA. We have that information, dual enrollment, college planning, and career interest in inventories are all on the Georgia Future site. Highly recommend you look at that. And if you already have an account, great. If not, you can create one. Be sure when you create your account that you have your legal name, address, and social security number. All of those legal name, address, and social security number should be entered correctly in order to connect with your transcript so that you can get your transcript uploaded from Chattahoochee. All that has to be correct in that system. All right, and now we're going to talk about Naviance. All right, so like I said, every student has a Naviance account. Naviance is a college and career readiness software provider that partners with high schools and other K-12 institutes to provide students with college planning and career assessment tools. Every single high school student, once again, has an Naviance account. There's no code needed. All they need to do is just sign into their class links, and all students should be familiar with that. And then they can click on the Naviance icon. If you look at the slide, you'll see it under class links. It's that green link in the corner left top that says Naviance. That's the icon they would click on, and then from there, they can sign in. One of the great features of the Naviance are the announcements that students can see on the main page, which are tailored to their specific grade level. Right now, current juniors can see announcements for this presentation along with the link if they logged into Naviance. They can search colleges, careers, register for college visits, search for scholarships, and more. So Naviance is a great site for scholarships. We use Naviance for not only all the things that I just mentioned, we also use it for dual enrollment information, announcements, and document submissions for students. All right, so now that your student has gone into Naviance, clicked the sign in, gone into Naviance, this is what they will see. So they'll see the welcome, the 11th grade welcome, which is what the meeting is for tonight. They'll see the important to-dos and tasks, which are going to be very important for your junior advisement meeting. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. They're going to see my favorites. And right now they should be thinking that you'll be probably mostly doing colleges I'm thinking about. And then we have what's new. And what's new are any upcoming college visits. So right there, they can see exactly what colleges will be coming to Chattahoochee. Now, if you look at the top bar, under self-discovery, these are some great tools. If you have no idea what you want to do after high school, or you just want to take a test, and see what it comes out as. There are a ton of features available here. Under self-discovery, there are 6 career assessments that you can use to see what you may be interested in. I actually took one of these career assessments, and it stated based on my strengths that I should be a high school teacher, which is not far off with what I'm doing right now. Under careers, there's the Explore Careers tab, where they will talk about descriptions of careers, education, and salary, their career cluster and pathways. And they also have these great Road Trip Nation videos. There are 52 Road Trip Nation videos. And they're like YouTube videos. And what it is, they interviewed 984 leaders, creating over 8,000 videos on struggles, triumphs, and self-discovery that has been broken down into 48 themes and 29 interests. So you can get great information here under just that Road Trip Nation. And if you click on colleges, you see the green button there, colleges in Naviance. This is what you will see at the top. You'll see Find Your Fit. You'll see Research Colleges. You'll see Apply to College. You'll see Scholarships and Money. And then there's a planner for your student. And I'm just going to talk about Find Your Fit right now. This is the Supermatch. Under Supermatch, students can search colleges based on criteria fit. So for example, this student, their fit was location, academics, student life, and diversity. Here are 2 examples of what the Supermatch search would be for that student. And that's just 2 examples. I wasn't able to actually copy the whole page, but there were several other students under there, 7 other colleges under there for the student to choose from. You can get your fit score, academic match, and it highlights cost and the different colleges and the various things that are offered at the college. Things to keep in mind when using Supermatch: rigor is not included in the list of factors used to match your colleges. A number of schools do not have a certain level of rigorous classes they want to see on a transcript, and students and families should always reference the college admissions website to see the stats of the most recently accepted class of students, sometimes called a freshman profile. And the student should compare the academic profile to those averages or ranges. This is not guaranteed to be 100% accurate, just one of many tools to help guide you in your search. All right, so now we're going to talk about the upcoming junior advisement meetings. And you're probably asking, what is a junior advisement meeting? A junior advisement meeting is a meeting where counselors will be discussing college and career search and exploration tools available in the Naviance portal, SAT and ACT information, Hope Zell Miller information, timeline, and important dates through the rest of your junior year, and info and into the senior year and more. We will be offering these 20-minute meetings to your juniors, and it's mandatory that all parents and guardians and students either watch the presentation or look at the PowerPoint before scheduling their junior advisement meeting with their counselor. This is what you will also, these are some tips for your junior advisement meeting. All junior advisement meetings for this school year will be held virtually or in person. And prior to selecting a day or time for your students' meeting, please coordinate a day and time which is best for the parent and student, so that we won't have duplicate meetings for just one student. And if your student has a dual enrollment or online class, that time would be ideal. All parents are invited to the 20-minute junior advisement meeting, and students are expected to attend. An email will be sent to all parents and students with counselors' appointment links tomorrow. And it will be on our counseling website under the class of 2024. So we're going to send them out probably through Naviance, as well as the information will be on our website. We plan to complete the meetings over the next several weeks. So please schedule your students' meeting as soon as possible. And then once you have planned your meeting, you will receive a confirmation email from your counselor. Your student can show that confirmation email to their teacher as a pass to miss class on that day and time. And students will report to the counseling office a few minutes before their appointment time. Now, if a student chooses to meet via Teams, we can direct them to a private room in our counseling office. Students are required before the junior advisement meeting to complete all tasks that they need to work on. So there's 4 tasks that students are required to complete before the junior advisement meeting. Tasks that you're working on. This will be one of the talking points that will be discussed by your counselor. So please make sure that your student is completing the task before the meeting. Tasks for future grades are not required for the junior advisement meeting, but encouraged before or by your senior year. So there's that box over there. It would be great if you could do it, but definitely by your senior year. Students must log into ClassLinks and click on the Naviance screen icon. Parents do not have access to the ClassLinks and cannot do this for them. Once in Naviance, students need to look for the important to do and task on your left-hand side, and then click All in My Planner at the bottom of the important to-dos and tasks, and then click on the left-hand side, Task Assigned to Me. So you're probably only going to see maybe 3 tasks when you are logging in. You're not going to be able to see 4. That's why we want you to click that button down at the bottom that says See All in My Planner, and then click Task Assigned to Me. And then you should be able to see all your tasks and be able to do them. For families and students to be fully prepared for this meeting, here are the things that must be done at home prior to the meeting. So before the meeting, students must complete the 4 tasks that are assigned to them in Naviance. These are college and career search and exploration activities, which are really great resources for helping students and families think through options for the future. So please do not rush through them. Ms. B will be checking students' completions of these activities in a few days prior to your meeting. And if your student hasn't done them, you will receive a phone call or email from her reminding you to have your student do them. Naviance is a really great resource. Please take advantage of everything it has to offer. Students are expected to discuss the results of the Naviance tasks, topics covered in this meeting, and topics on the forum called Junior Advisement Topics to Discuss at Home. So there's going to be a whole sheet of things for you to talk about with your student before the meeting as well. If parents don't have the Microsoft app, highly encourage you to download the app to the device that you will be using before the meeting. There's a link right there for you to that tells you exactly what you need to do and how to do it to get on the Microsoft Teams app. And then our time on these are quick 20-minute meetings will be devoted to 3 things: reviewing the student's graduation status report, where they stand as far as progress towards graduation, discussing potential courses for your senior schedule, and post-secondary plans. Students should be prepared to share the senior courses that they would like to take. College and career plans, they're not required to know exactly what college and career plans they would like to pursue, but it would be great to, be able to talk about it and share the results of the Naviance test, as well as tentative plans on what they think they might want to do after high school. I know this list is a lot to remember, and that's why on our counseling website under the class of 2024, there and it will be emailed to you. There's a whole page dedicated to everything you need to know and do right now, right there at your fingertips. Please make sure you check out the counseling webpage before your meeting. All right, so things to remember now, miscellaneous reminders. Students, right now, students should check their Fulton County email every day. Most communication from counselors and teachers are sent this way. They can make sure they use their Fulton County. And if you don't know, there's that information there. You can start researching schools and Naviance, choose colleges I'm thinking about, and attend college visits, either virtually or in person. Definitely, if you can, schedule an SAT or ACT test, especially if you want to do dual enrollment. Use a personal email address, which is appropriate, not your Fulton. You don't want to use your Fulton County email address when creating accounts to apply to college. You want to use more of a personal one that's appropriate. And things to wait until after the senior meeting. So when you come back in August, you're going to be a senior. How exciting. And we're going to have a senior meeting. So these are things that you want to do once you come back in the fall. You want to wait until you do these things. Counselors in a counseling office does not process recommendation forms, letters, or transcript requests until our senior meeting, which is typically after Labor Day. Requesting transcripts or recommendations from any portal. Pairing your common application account with Naviance. You don't want to do that until after the senior meeting. Adding colleges to colleges I'm applying to on Naviance. And truly, the earliest students can apply for freshman admission to colleges is summer before senior year. So please wait until after the senior meeting so you'll be prepared. You won't be doing things unnecessarily if you don't have to. All right. And now it's time to get these last minute questions in before we close. Once again, this information will be emailed to all juniors and parents tomorrow. It will be on our counseling webpage under the class of 2024 as well. So counselors, do you have any questions people are asking? Oh.
Ms. Crawford just asked if parents can attend the junior meeting in person. Yes, you can attend in person. They are 20-minute meetings, so make sure you get here early, get parking, get checked in the front office, make sure you have a ID on you so that you don't run into any hiccups getting into the school. So just, be on time so that we can get started on time. I didn't really get a whole lot of other questions. I don't know if any other counselors want to chime in. I posted some meeting dates, like we're having financial aid night on November 2nd. That's going to be on Teams as well. That link will be sent out shortly. And then also the dual enrollment, if anybody's interested in dual enrollment, go ahead and mark your calendars, February 1st. That's the meeting date and timeline for that. So yeah, I think the junior meetings are just an excellent time for parents to ask individual questions about their student and kind of set up a plan for the remainder of this year.
Yeah.
So
yes.
can I butt in? Someone asked a question, can a counselor help a kid come up with a college list in the junior advisement meeting? That's probably not the right place to set up a list because there's so many other things that we're going to cover in the meeting. But if the counselor finds that after the junior advisement meeting, we need to do a follow-up meeting, we'll set that in the meeting itself. So because sometimes helping to come up with a list will take some time. It takes some probing. And usually when I'm working with a kid, I'm asking a lot of probing questions. So it's really a time for them to reflect so that they can help come up with the list that they're interested in. So the junior advisement meeting wouldn't be the place to do it, but we will teach you how to do it.
Yeah, use Naviance too. That's going to be key.
And thank you all for coming and taking the time out of your busy schedules to hop online with us and get this information.
Yes.
Because it's a lot, and I know junior year is an important year, and just want to make sure we're rolling into senior year on a good note.
Hey, I see one last question. Are in-person college visits only allowed one day off of school? So students can request up to 6 pre-approved absences throughout the school year. And that could be for college visits where they go to a college. It could be for a family function, anything along those lines. So it's not just one, it's six days of pre-approved absences. Further question, the 7 in-school college visits, that's 7 per year junior year and 7 per year senior year. And those college visits are the reps that come to Chattahoochee, and the student visits with the rep at Chattahoochee.
So for example, today, the University of Alabama was in our flex room meeting with students. Anybody that signed up for the University of Alabama visit, they got to meet with that rep. There were only a few students in there, so probably got all their questions answered. The rep got to meet the student. Just great information provided.
What do you say, counselors? Everybody's questions are still coming in or not necessarily?
I think we're good to go. We'll be seeing
All right.
everybody in their meetings, so looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
Looking forward to that. Thank you for attending.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Good
Thank
night.
you. Thanks, counselors.
Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Ms. Jones.
Bye.